Good evening, everyone. So today I want to talk about Edgar Cayce. Does anybody here knows this man? Yes or no? Yes, no. No? Who never heard about this guy? Raise your hand. Wow, okay, good. So let's hear them. And if you know a little bit about him, so we can always learn more. So Edgar Cayce is one of the biggest name here in the United States on spiritualism. Okay? Let me give you a little bit about him. He was born in March 18, and that is in the state of Kentucky, 1887. I want you to pay attention to this date here. It's 1887. So Kardec died in 1869, so you can put the timing together. Oh, this. I don't know what's up, William. Anyway. So, Cayce's life journey took him from humble beginnings to become a renowned psychic, healer, and visionary, okay? So, a lot of people think that, especially when Brazilian studies Edgar Cayce, they usually say that Edgar Cayce was the biggest American medium, okay? But let's put it that way. Edgar Cayce was never a medium, okay? And he talks about that he was not a medium. Why he was not a medium? Because he was not communicating with any spirits, okay? So Allan Kardec said a medium is somebody, it's an interpretation of a spirit, right? So if it's a spirit involved and you bring the message from a spirit, you are a medium. But if there is no spirit, you can call themselves, that's why they say here, a psychic. I love this because they have that word in English that we don't have it in Portuguese, and I think it's perfect because a psychic, it's not a medium. Okay? A psychic uses its own capabilities, okay, to maybe see the future. If you have a capability to see the future yourself, are you a medium? No. Now, if a spirit tells you what's going to happen in the future, are you a medium?
Yes.
Yes. So you see the difference, right? Okay. So a psychic is somebody that use their own perception, their own capability. And we have so much capability to go deeper and feel things. Like if I feel what were you feeling, that means that I'm a medium?
No.
No. There is no spirit telling me how you're feeling. I use my own capability, my own possibility to perceive what you're feeling. That's just nature. That's who we are. That's not mediumship. Mediumship, a spirit needs to be present. Okay? So that, are we clear on that? Okay, awesome. So he was not a medium. Okay? He was a psychic. Okay? So this is very interesting about him. He was William's dad. He was called a sleeping prophet. Okay, so let me go. Possess a unique and extraordinary gift of accessing information and insights beyond the realm of ordinary consciousness. His ability to enter a self-indulged trance state allow him to tap into what he called Akashic records. Akashic right? Is that how you pronounce? A vast, in Portuguese we say a Cayce. A vast cosmic library containing the collective knowledge and history of every soul that has ever lived. So, interested phenomenon, sleeping prophet. That's very interesting. Why? When you go deep into Edgar Cayce's lives, in the very beginning, when he started, he was at first induced to magnetic sleep through a magnetizer. You know what a magnetizer is? Does anybody know? A person who gives the what you call passes here, but it's magnetism. So what used to happen back in the days, it was the magnetizer will magnetize someone, okay, meaning that they will put their hands above them and go very, very, very slow and focus here, okay, on a frontal tract, and focus here on a on the solar plexus. And then by doing that, and this was discovered by Mesmer, by doing that, the person will fall into what we call magnetic sleep. It was not a regular sleep. It was a sleep that was induced. It's not like you just fell asleep. No, you were induced to sleep. And Edgar Cayce, he started like that. That's why he was called the sleeping prophet. Why? Because when you were induced to that state and you fell into what we call magnetic sleep, sometimes, not everybody, but sometimes some people will start to talk about things that they didn't know. They could see the body, they could see what the problem was, what the healing needs to be done. They used to do experiment with these people that we call somnambulants. They will close their eyes, and then they will see everything with their eyes closed. They used to read books. They used to be able to tell the future. They used to be able to describe any object that was not in the same room. So there was a lot of studies, and there was a lot of things going on back then. That's when Kardec was also a magnetizer. Kardec he studied magnetism, okay? Kardec was very involved with this, and Edgar Cayce started like this. So he had a magnetizer magnetize him too, so he can feel into this trance state, okay? Later on, he learned how to self-induce himself to that sleeping process. And the good thing, and a wonderful phenomenon that happens when you fell asleep through magnetism is that you don't remember a thing that you said. So he induced himself to that kind of sleep. That's why he was known as the sleeping prophet. It's not a regular sleep. It's a trance that you go into. It feels like you were sleeping, but you're not, but you don't remember anything.
After you wake up.
Yes.
Is there a difference between that and a hypnotism trance?
There is a little bit. Hypnotism was born through magnetism. So hypnotism, it's one type of trance, okay, that you can get to, but it's lighter than the sleep, than the magnetic sleep. But it's the same thing, okay? It's still a trance. Hypnosis is a trance. It's very good to healing and all this, but when you go to somnambulism, it's just deeper, okay? It's a deeper trance where Usually you don't remember many things, and then, but the biggest thing on that is that you become clairvoyant. Yeah. Some people became clairvoyant when they are in this state. That's the difference. And then wonderful things happen, okay? And that's how we see Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce will get himself into that state. And he had so much material going on. Okay, what was that? Including health and wellness and spiritual growth, reincarnation, Atlantics, and every prediction of the future events. When he got into that state, he will have all this happens to him. It is estimated that he conducted over 14,000 document readings during his lifetime, providing guidance and healing to countless individuals seeking answer to this deeper question. So what Edgar Cayce did was he did readings for people. You know, people will come to his house. He will get into that state, like he looked like he was sleeping. That's why he was called the sleeping prophet. And then he will tell you things about your past lives. He will tell you things about your health, what's going on with you. He will give you, he will answer any questions that you might have. And the good thing about this is that everything, most of the stuff that he did is documented. It's documented. And guess what it is, guys? In Virginia Beach. So if you ever go to Virginia, you might be wanted to pay a visit of a foundation. We're going to talk about that foundation, that they have it over there, that it's based upon everything that he wrote, every tape record. There was so many tape records. There was so many information that they're still trying to understand about this guy. He was just fantastic, just fantastic. Significant contribution was his approach to holistic healing. Rather than simply treating symptoms, he emphasized the importance of addressing the underlying cause of illness. Cayce believed that the mind, body, and the spirit were interconnected, and that true healing required a holistic approach that considered all aspects of a person's being. Yes?
So you think that anybody that go into that state can do the same thing that he did?
I believe that if you, and he's going to talk, and I'm going to talk about this, but yes, you can develop that. Anybody. Because this is like what he did is a capability of humans, everybody. It's not that some people will have it and others not. Some people will access and some people will not access. Who are the people that is going to access? The people that knows how to deal with their minds, that do not allow, that is not too mental. And remember, back then, we have a problem. Back then, there is no TV, there is no cell phone, you know, for us to be receiving information 24/7. We're becoming more mental than any generation on this earth. And when you leave it on your mental body, okay, chances are that you're not gonna access any information. So we need to be very careful with the amount of information 24 hours that we are receiving, especially through social media and through phones. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for you to be able to silence your mind. Why? When you close your eyes and you try to meditate, or you try to get into this state, your mind has so much information that it's already processing, that your mind is more agitated than anybody else's mind. That's why anxiety today is bigger than before. It's much bigger. It's not because we are all worried about the future. It's because we need to be entertained 24/7. And the mind is what needs entertainment, not the consciousness. The consciousness is happy just the way it is. You see a tree, it's a consciousness, different consciousness than us, but it's a tree. It's that, it's just there. It's happy to be there. We're not happy if we're not entertained. So we're looking for entertainment. It used to drive me crazy when my kids were young, and they used to say to me, "Mom, I'm so bored." I was like, where did they learn that word, you know? But it is. And then, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And that's how anxiety is becoming a problem. It's too much information, too much entertainment. There is no such a thing as let me just be. You know? Be doing what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just breathing and living and feel the sun in your skin, and you just that living. No, you are looking for entertainment, you are looking for something to do, and that's the only reason why I'm telling you this, is to tell you why we're not accessing this information like Edgar Cayce did. In order to access this information, we need to look at ourselves and start to see what the problem is. And we cannot live in our minds, because that information that he brought, it's not in our minds. It's someplace else. And we need to access it someplace else, not through the mind. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay. So, and another big contribution, when you go here to the doctor, you know, and then you say that we have to treat everybody as mind, body, and spirit, not only as body, not only as a spirit, not only as mind. And here, the way the medicine works today is like, if you have a problem in your mind, you go to the psychiatrist, right? But if you have a problem in your heart, you go to the cardiologist. And we separate everything. But everything is interconnected. So that's the Edgar Cayce. Imagine if you have it in the future, a doctor that will see your mind and body and spirits interconnected as one. Completely different vision. He had that, and he made huge contribution in that area. And true healing required a holistic approach, consider all aspects of a person's being. Aspect of Cayce's work was his exploration of past life and reincarnation. So he will go to this trance, and he will tell the person everything about their past lives. And he also talked about reincarnation a lot. According to his reading, each individual soul undergoes a series of incarnations, learning and evolving through multiple lifetimes. Cayce believed that understanding our past life could provide valuable insight into a current circumstance, relationship, and challenges. Okay, so I want you to connect this, okay, with every single author and professionals that work with past lives. So you see so many here in the United States, right? They put you in some kind of light trance, and you go in and you see yourself in a past life to fix the issue that is going in here. That's because of Edgar Cayce. He was the one who brought this, okay, to United States back then. Okay, so he contributed a lot for a lot of the healing process that we see today here. That is thanks to Edgar Cayce. Furthermore, Cayce's readings on Atlantics. Who knows what Atlantis is? Huh? Not a city, it's a continent, right? Yes, guy? Yes. What happens to this continent, Atlantis? Supposedly, right? Okay, under the seas, yes. And he brought a lot of information on Atlantis when he was in that stage. There's a lot of interest stuff that Edgar Cayce brought to Atlantics. And a lot of things that he used to say back then, it's used today for a lot of people that are talking on YouTube and saying stuff that Edgar Cayce said many years ago. Is the lost civilization often associated with myth and legend captivated the interest of many? A lot of people that were interested in Atlantis, they went to Edgar Cayce. That's the main information that we have on Atlantis. According to Cayce, Atlantis was an advanced civilization that exists tens of thousands of years ago and held great scientific and spiritual knowledge. He described the downfall of Atlantic as a result of misuse of power, greed, and spiritual decline. So I'm sure you read about Atlantics, and you read this, didn't you? You just didn't know that came from Edgar Cayce. And that's the problem today with everybody that wants to become an influencer on YouTube or social media, is that they're passing over information that it already exists and it's all good. Do that. History is part of it. Mention that this is not your view, that this was the view that you learned from Edgar Cayce. Okay, so a lot of things that's going on, it was based on Edgar Cayce back in the days. Yeah, I'm talking about the 1900s. Okay? So if you're interested on Atlantis, you know where you need to get you can get your information. The impact he has had on countless lives cannot be denied. Like the amount of people that it was healed by this man. The amount of people that he helped was incredible. Okay? And going to personal one-on-one section. Cayce's legacy served as an inspiration for those who are there to explore the mystery of human existence and the timeless potential of. So, if you're interested, a lot of things is over that foundation that I told you, Edgar Foundation, that it's in Virginia Beach. They do have a website. They do have a lot of articles that was written by Edgar Cayce. They do have a lot of information that they're still trying to understand from back then when he was in that state. And it's amazing the impact that people that actually want to explore the mystery of human existence. I'm not talking about anything mystical. I'm talking about human existence. Because he was not a medium, he was just a person that was seeking to understand human existence and the limitless that we are. And that's who we really are. We are so happy with the body and the job and the family, or sometimes we're not, but we invest a lot on this aspect of life that is 100% matter, is 100% material things, and we are so much more than that, and we can explore so much more than that, but we need to have the curiosity, the observation power, the patience to do it, and we have to find time to do it. That's why meditation today, I tell people that meditation today, people use it as a tool not to feel depressed or have anxiety, but meditation is much more than this. Meditation is a deep, it can be if you want to. You can use that state to truly understand your human existence by only observing yourself. Only by observing yourself. Why? Because when you are observing, you are not thinking. All right? So we have to go in and say we are much more than only the mind, than only the body. Okay? So I brought it here, a few things that Edgar Cayce wrote. And one of the things that he says that the divine within each of us, I've been saying this for so long. It's a spark of the Creator, the eternal light that guides and sustains us. As we attune ourselves to this inner divine presence, we access the wellspring of wisdom, love, and healing. That's why everybody can do it. Okay? Our true purpose is to recognize this connection. What connection? Divine, within. Okay? To nurture and to live in harmony with the divine will. When we do so, we find peace and chaos, strength and weakness, and clarity and confusion. Who doesn't want that? Raise your hands. We all are looking for this. Well, the problem is that we're looking at the wrong place. You know? We're looking into all this through outside, but we have peace when everything is working perfectly to me, material speaking, you know, when I have a bunch of people that love me, when I have all the money in the world, when I retire, when I'm famous, when I do this, and then you reach all this and you say, it's not that. Like happened to a few people, okay? But Edgar Cayce was telling us this, when we do find this divine, this connection within us, that's when life transformation happens. The divine is always present, waiting for us to turn inward and acknowledge its eternal presence. It's all about access. It's all about that. We already have everything. Okay? So that's one of the texts from Edgar Cayce. Okay, that's his contribution. Amazing. You see, when a lot of things came after him. Why? Because this is from the 1800s. Okay, this is from the 1900s. Okay, so anything that came after is based on Edgar Cayce. Do you see how important this guy was? For a lot of things that happens, for a lot of things that we're trying to build here on earth. Okay. Another text from him, it said, the work of the soul is to bring love and understanding into the relationship of man with his fellow man. Only through recognizing the divine in every individual can true harmony and justice be achieved. How is that? So when you look at it into this, we have to recognize that we're not doing that at all. We're not doing that. We actually are doing the opposite of that. When we see somebody, we don't even exercise this capability to see everybody as divine. We don't even think about this. We don't even remember this. And what we do is we judge. That we're so good at it. Judging. We're constantly judging other people. If they don't believe in the things that we believe, if they don't walk like us, if they don't dress like us, if they don't, a lot of things we judge. We judge. And when we judge, we bring a lot of pain to ourselves, because you not only judge others. That's the problem with judgment. You never only judge others. You also judge yourself constantly. Okay? And why? Because we do not recognize every individual to be divine. We cause a lot of division and a lot of problem and true harmony. And this is wonderful, because we're looking for justice all the time, aren't we? We're looking for justice, but we think that the system is going to do it for us. The government is going to do that justice for us. No, this is something that we have to build as a society together. We will have a justice. Justice will be achieved when we start to do this here, when we recognize the divine in every individual. That's when it's going to happen. Okay? And I thought this last one was amazing, because one day I had this inside. It just came to me. And then when I was reading about this guy, I was like, oh God, he said the same thing. Know thyself. Know yourself. So the way we interpret this today is like you have to know your personality, right? Your name, your traumas. And it's not about this. Know thyself for the understanding who you truly are. You come to understand the divine within. That's when know yourself means. Know thyself means that you have to know that you're divine. And until you know that, you don't know yourself. You know your name, your personality, your traumas, that you know. But all the thyself, the know thyself, it's a self-knowledge is the foundation upon which all wisdom, healing, and spiritual growth are built. Remember that question on the Spirit's book, 919 or 909, one of the other, that says, how can I grow? And the Spirit's answer, know thyself, know yourself, right? But it's not know yourself as your name and your body. Know yourself means know that you are divine. And by knowing that you are divine, you're going to see that the others are divine too. So, see, growth are built. That's what we're looking for, and that's exactly what the Spirit said. But for some reason, we interpret as it was very different. Our interpretation was very different. When you look inward, with honesty and love, you align with your higher purpose and the universal truth. One more person is telling us to go look in. The answers is within you. It's another person, not Spiritism, nothing like this, but he brought the same message to every single one of us. And I believe that this is the time, right? If we didn't do it, we have to do it. We have to start doing that work. And the way that we do this is in our daily mind, not trusting our minds with the crazy thoughts that comes in, and you identify with that thoughts. Okay? You're not your mind. There is something else. Okay? The connection with the divine, it has no mind. The mind is from this body. We're something else. Okay? So, do we have any questions? No? No? Okay. I guess that's good. And please search for this guy. That's him right here. Edgar Cayce, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.